Head coach Kevin Stefanski, after the game, talked about the play calling late in the game, as well as using the timeouts with the Vikings driving on that game that eventually was the game-winning drive.
We ran it twice. They called their timeouts. Felt decent about the pass. Obviously, got an incomplete there. To answer your question, Tony, whenever you don't come through in a drive, you always think about doing something different. Yes.
Was that a throwaway on third down? Just something's not there, or is he trying to do that?
Yeah, I got to see it. I'm not sure.
And was there any thought of using the fullback Huntington on that drive to open some holes?
We're always talking about different personnel groups.
Kevin, that last third down in 3 minutes or so, did you consider running just to make him use their last time out, or did you think that you had one there?
Yeah, I mean, you factor all those things in, Zach. On all downs, you consider what to do there, but ultimately, we expect. Listen, we got to come through bottom line in that down and distance, or in that situation, those sets of sticks, and we did not.
Kevin, were you using your timeouts at the end to give your defense rest?
Yeah, to potentially, if they score there, if they kick a field goal there, just to give you time on the other side.
With that, let's welcome in Ashley Bastock, Browns beat reporter for the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. Ashley, what were your thoughts of the defense on that final drive?
Yeah, I mean, really, really unfortunate look. And Kevin Stefanski said today on Monday that they thought there were multiple breakdowns on that final drive. And, I think it was clear after rewatching it, they were in this zone look. Denzel Ward did not force Jordan Addison inside far enough where their help was, where Ronnie Hickman was. It's too much to ask him to cover that entire back stretch of the field alone. So Denzel, after the game, I know, told my colleague Mary Kay Cabot he took the blame for that touchdown. I do think it was a very strange lapse by their part, but I'll also be curious to hear from Jim Schwartz this week. And we know these guys have different looks, but this idea to me of, in that situation, I don't want Denzel Ward, the Pro Bowl cornerback, to be handing that guy off, right? It would, I think, be making more sense to have him matched up with him in a man look. I don't know, exactly what they saw that made them think this zone look was the best idea, but obviously it didn't work. Obviously it was a breakdown, and I think it's so disappointing because this defense, which has played so well, that's the position they want to be in on the field. Less than 3 minutes to play. At that point, they score the touchdown. Less than a minute to play. You have to get a stop, especially if you're the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, and it almost seemed like they were playing not to lose. I didn't sense the aggression from that defense.
Yeah.
That's the reason you want them out there with the game on the line.
Yeah, and again, for me, part of that, I wonder how much of that just goes back to the zone look, but there is that difference that you can sense with them when they're doing that. And it's almost afraid to take chances in a way that is not beneficial. But I just think that that's a situation where you can't let Carson Wentz march 80 yards down the field and do whatever he wants. And especially you add to it the fact that the Vikings had a skeleton crew out there on their O-line. They were without 4 of their usual starters out there. And, I thought for most of that game, the defense, especially the defensive front, still did a good job being disruptive. Obviously, they forced the 2 fumbles, which I thought were huge plays. I thought Malik Collins had a really nice game. But when it counted, you didn't feel that advantage. And I thought in this game that should have been an obvious advantage for the Browns.